Maybe just sit down now.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Chop. Man, she is on fire this morning.
Done.
Are we gonna have a
Dollar.
quorum? Oh, instant. Yes, you have a quorum without me.
Okay. It is Friday, July 11th, and I would like to call the Jobs Committee meeting. It is 10:52. Please call the roll.
Bates,
Eight's here.
Doherty, Penesis,
Penesis online.
Strathman,
Strathman here.
Young, Allen, Roth,
Roth here.
Lewis.
Louis here.
There's a quorum.
Okay. Could I have permission to let Mr. Penesis join us online?
Permission accepted.
Okay. Welcome, Mr. Ted.
Thank you.
All righty. I need someone to ask for approval of the minutes from May 16th. Unanimous consent. Unanimous consent.
Yeah, thank you. Unanimous consent of our very competent and thoughtful meetings
No objections.
from May 16th, 2020.
Okay.
Sally, you move the microphone.
Seeing no objections,
Here, move this one so
Approved.
Mr. Ford has one.
no public comments. We are on to
Adjournment. Oh, no.
Job Committee priorities. Mr. Van Kirkhoff.
Good morning, Mark Van Kirkhoff here. Chris Toth is not available today, visiting family up in Michigan. So you get John Gruling and myself this morning. So I just have a couple updates I wanted to make on some of our ARPA funded projects related to economic development and jobs. One of which you may have noticed, but both are Convention and Visitors Bureaus that together cover most of Kane County, Elgin and Aurora, both came out with their tourism travel guides, and I think they just do a spectacular job of promoting their area and Kane County. I think that funding from ARPA was well invested in them. One of the things that we discussed with them when we were working on those agreements for the funding was encourage them to expand the areas that they actually covered, because between the two of them several years ago, they did not cover every community in Kane County. And they have taken that to heart and have expanded by adding Geneva, adding Elburn and Hampshire and some other communities to that. So we're pretty close to 100% covered. And they really do some dynamic programs. One of the key things about the funding the county provided is they are primarily funded from the Convention and Visitors Bureau's dollars from the state, which comes from hotel motel tax. So the state and those funding sources, they want to know that any marketing is at least 50 miles away for people who are going to come and stay in a hotel. So they're able to spend the county's funds on marketing within the Chicagoland metro region, which of course has a lot of people, and 3 train lines and all sorts of opportunities to come out and visit. So I just wanted to point that out, that your dollars from ARPA are well at work supporting both those agencies, and they're doing a good job.
Are those visitors guides available in print or online, or?
I think they're both. I saw them shown, online. I think they have a digital version, but I think you can get them in print as well. And then the other one I just want to report on was one of our other ARPA funded initiatives was with IMEC, Illinois Manufacturing Excellence Center, and there's 2 components of that funding. One was for supporting manufacturers with our what we call our Lighthouse Manufacturers Program, and that filled up pretty quickly with 20 companies. They're going to be completing their work in the fall, and we're really glad that the new Economic Development Corporation is going to pick up that program and continue to work with them to continue working with those 20 companies, add an additional 5 companies to the program, as well as do a survey of our manufacturers. But the other component of our county funding was for helping the workforce pipeline for our manufacturers. So that was originally envisioned by IMAC and by our team to have informational workshops about hiring people with disabilities and on the spectrum and sort of your non-traditional pipeline justice, people coming out of the justice system, anything that, manufacturers maybe not particularly be looking at. And they did a number of those and they're well attended, but they really were having a hard time getting traction on the next step of that. And that was to have manufacturers, take on, employees and sort of that next step. So IMAC had contacted us and said, well, we're having, a hard time with traction there, but we want to make sure the money's well spent. So let's talk about what other options we have. And what we came up with is what I'm about to share some of the fruit of, is we have, fortunately, a couple of great partners in Kane County working with those populations. One is the Parent Alliance Employment Project, which is located in DuPage County, but they have been increasing their service area, working with families and individuals in Kane County, most notably with the Project Search program at Delnor Northwestern Medicine Hospital, which is funded by our WIOA funds, incidentally. So they already have a foothold there. We have other organizations that are working kind of along the same lines. But we have located in Elgin, a national organization called FMA, which works with fabricators in the manufacturing field with metals. They have a foundation that is called Spark Force, and they sponsor manufacturing camps all over the country. Elgin Community College has had one in the past. And then in the last 3 or 4 years, they've started doing what they call inclusion camps. And those are camps specifically for young adults on the spectrum or with disabilities and showing them what they can do. So IMAC pivoted. They contacted a number of these partners, including one called Little Friends, also located over in Warrenville. They're also expanding into Kane County to do 2 of these camps. So the one that hosted at Delnor is just about wrapping up, but they had an open house last week, which I attended. And Blair, if you could put the photo up. So this is in the classroom that the Project Search program uses. It's not currently in session, so they used it for the camp. And there was about eight young men. They did a tremendous job of introducing themselves. The instructor who's leaning over the young man at the computer, just a dynamic young man himself leading this group. And they each shared out a little bit about what they've learned. They've also are going on some actual tours of manufacturing. And then what they did for us was they had a assembly line process. So, and working together as a team. So they, from scratch, made boxes, taped them up, packed them. And you see the last station there, they're scanning and labeling. And then one young man was running them back and forth to the other room to put them on a pallet, and then they shrink wrapped them, and they did an entire order, and they did it very effectively, and they had a lot of joy and enthusiasm in working as a team and working together. So just wanted to share that's where some of that money is going to help, as well as like the tours that they went on. And there's another camp starting up in July. So happy to answer any questions, but just wanted to share some of that good work.
Was that Little Friends, the picture, Mark?
No, this is the Parents Alliance Employment Project team working with Delnor Community Hospital.
Got it. I worked with Little Friends. It's a great group working with the disability community. So very excited about that too.
Great, that's good to hear, because that's where they're hosting the next one that we're helping to sponsor with IMAC.
Excellent.
Any other questions?
Okay, other than that, on Chris and my end, we're continuing to work with John. I'm gonna turn it over to him for a report, but Chris is doing a great job of continuing to support John and his work. We're both getting a lot of interest and activity in Kane County, which is wonderful, and I'll turn it over to John.
Thank you. Good morning. A couple of things. The Kane County Economic Development Corporation, as I've reported before and will continue to report, has been very busy. And we had our board meeting this past week, and I was surprised preparing for this meeting. It was our 10th board meeting since December, and we skipped June. So I can tell you, we're keeping the founding board members very, very busy, and they're responding very well. And we have virtually almost 90% attendance at every meeting.
How many people are on that?
7.
Uh-huh.
7 on the founding board, and we're beginning to look at nominating other individuals from the business, the not-for-profit, and the educational committee as we build it up. The bylaws currently allow for up to 21 board members. And I suspect that over the next year and a half, we may need to amend those bylaws to add additional board seats, but we wanted to keep it pretty focused for the first year. So 2 things currently are going on. One is Convergent not-for-profit services, nonprofit services, was hired by the board to do 2 things. One is to complete a feasibility study on testing the waters, if you will, to see if we can raise a pretty substantial amount of money from primarily the private sector in Kane County to fund the ongoing operation for the EDC. With the gracious support of the county board and the utilization of ARPA money to launch this activity, it was never expected that we would continually ask the county to fund this, or for that matter, the public sector. So the campaign consultant has just started their interviews this past week. They'll be probably in the county for the next probably an additional 4 weeks, and completing interviews with, I think, upwards of 60 or 70 companies. That's kind of what I think. Their goal is a little less than that, but I suspect we're going to have enough companies that have some interest here that will want to talk to our interviewer. Once that work is done, they will prepare a report and will present that to the EDC board, and the findings will identify, is there private sector interest to support the organization, and B, what is the target dollar amount they think is potentially out there based on the feedback they get from these interviews. So we'll learn a lot in this first few weeks of this work. And depending on the outcome of the report of these interviews, the board will then consider hiring this group for a second contract to actually go out and manage a fundraising campaign. And that will go on for a really better part of a year, because these things are not easy to do, and we really want to invite as many private companies as we can to participate in this. So that's very exciting. Another piece of business that the board has really just started looking at is the hiring of a marketing firm to develop a marketing program for the organization. We think the result of the interviews by the campaign consultant will really be able to inform a marketing campaign in terms of what are the hot buttons, what are the issues, what are the challenges, and then what would the business community like to see in terms of how do we position Kane County in the business, both domestic and international marketplace. It's a very important thing, especially since this is our first effort at doing this. If we had an existing organization, it would be something that we would probably do every 3 or 4 years, do a strategic plan, go out and look at our marketing efforts and then make some tweaks and adjustments. Since this is, the beginning of what we think is going to be many, many successful years for this organization, we want to make sure we do it right. So I'll have more to report on that down the road. A few weeks ago, I had the honor of presenting to the Economic Development Network Group that Mark and Chris have been hosting for what, 10 years now or something? Yeah. And I was able to give a overview of the program of work for the Economic Development Corporation. I felt it was well received. I've gotten some nice follow-up from that. And so there's a lot of excitement out there in terms of, what we're trying to accomplish here. And I think we're going to see a lot of support for this as we move into sort of our let's start doing something phase, which is what we've been hoping to do. But as I said, we're moving pretty well. I mean, it's to get a board of volunteers to meet 10 times in basically 6 months shows the level of interest and support that we have from the leadership. So be happy to answer any questions. Yes.
May I? When you talked about the 60 to 70 companies that you will be talking to,
Right.
do you have a criteria for them? Is it like size or income or revenue or?
It's a variety of sort of profiles. We're looking at making sure that we touch the variety of business sectors that thrive in Kane County, sort of the key industry clusters, healthcare, manufacturing,
Oh, that makes sense.
services, financial, food processing, ag is part of the equation. So size, all sizes. We really drew from 4 or 5 different databases, and through input from Mark and Chris and others, we were able to come up with I think we had 175, something like 175 companies that we had on to the potential list. And so, isn't I? So we have a scheduler that's we hired to go ahead and make the calls to set these appointments. And so that's I hope I answered your question.
No, really, and I'm happy to know that it's all sizes because it's all part of the makeup of King County. So that's good to know. Thank you.
Right.
It's
And-
all
and-
sizes and up and down the county. Not nonprofits yet, but they will be phased in eventually.
Okay.
But we have to, hit the big companies first, but we have those other criteria that will be coming in later.
Yeah.
Ms. Bates,
So you are
sustainability companies.
done. So you are hiring a marketing firm and you have hired somebody to do a survey or?
This is a campaign consultant that will guide the board as we go out and put together a funding program based on a program of work that we think the business community can support.
And is this with ARPA money still?
Yes,
Okay,
all of this is using the ARPA funds.
okay. But the companies who join will be paying some form of dues,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
All right, do we know some thousand, X
Well, no,
thousands of them?
the bylaws, which we really needed to put together so that we could, vote in a board of directors
Uh-huh.
and give them their power, so to speak. And in that document, to be a board member, the minimum investment is $5,000 a year.
So all of our board members have invested $5,000?
Not at this point, no,
Okay.
no.
So,
And I think, wait a second, I think part of the survey that we're doing as we talk to these businesses is to
Madam
find
Chair,
out.
could you get a
oh,
little
I'm
closer to
sorry,
the mic, please?
is to gauge
Thank you.
what the value is going to be to them.
Right.
So, because we know there's great value, and we kind of need to see where our companies are looking at before we can actually set that.
And what is the value to them, would you say?
Well, we think we have a pretty strong value added case for companies that both are investors or just will not be investors and will benefit from the program just by being a business in Will County.
Mhm.
It's access. to
Kane
inf-
County.
King County.
I'm sorry.
Wait a minute.
I rarely do that, but I do.
know.
do that.
It's Friday, it's okay.
Spending 23 years there has, it's, sometimes I have a hard time forgetting. But we're talking about information, we're talking about access to markets, marketing programs, information on workforce, which is a big issue for a lot of employers these days. Incentives, other business assistance programs that may be available.
Incentives, what kind of incentives?
Incentives, maybe job training grants.
We'll be reaching out for the grants and trying to help them.
We would
get
help
grants.
facilitate them applying for and hopefully securing these
Nice.
kinds of grants. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of our businesses and even the other municipalities that have economic development, they don't have as many resources that are going to come to the table as we do, because we have a lot of contacts. So I think even the networking that they'll be able to get these smaller municipalities through our bigger organization. And for us, just the cohesiveness of having people all the way up and down Kane County with kind of the same goals and visions and talking is going to be huge. You're first.
And doesn't it make sense that we are hiring people to go out and talk to our companies? And wouldn't they be saying, and by the way, we have workforce development, we have abilities to bring people from ECC programs or Wabansi programs right to your company.
Mm.
It's just a matter of connectivity of what you need,
Right.
what skill sets you're looking for.
Right.
Isn't that what these folks can do?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think Anita made a really good point. One of the reasons a local business would perhaps become an investor and align themselves with the organization is the connections with other business leaders. Which currently, some communities provide that through locals chambers, et cetera. But this is, offering something at the senior executive level for both large and small companies, so that they have a chance to rub elbows and talk about the challenges and opportunities they see doing business in Kane County.
Let's face.
Me again. So what value are we adding above what possibly the Valley Industrial Association offers? And how are we working with VIA?
We are working with VIA. In fact, they'll be interviewed early on. As Anita said, we're not talking to a lot of not-for-profits right now, but
Who never uses acronyms, just did.
And
Valley
I said-
Industrial
I'm glad you
Association.
spelled it out. I spelled it out, Valley Industrial Association. Yeah, that's okay. Thanks.
Sorry.
Valley Industrial Association is a manufacturers association, and it's segmented into that particular business sector.
Okay.
And they tend to focus a lot on workforce issues and sharing information on some of the governmental regulatory environment. And they're also multi-county. They're not just Kane County.
Okay. All right. Okay, thanks. Thank you. I've run out of questions. I doubt if he's run out of answers, but.
No, he hasn't.
I've run out of
So,
questions.
go ahead.
If I could add to John's report, I mean, one of the organizations that feeds leads to us in the recent email to me also said, Kane County seems really hot right now. Let's keep the momentum. And the other value that John has brought to what Chris and I were already doing in our capacity is that ability to based on all his experience and knowledge and everything, provide that entree to our communities. When we get these leads, John is Johnny on the spot, and not that he's not busy enough already, right? But doing the heavy lift for the new organization, but he's still extremely responsive to any of these leads, connecting with the communities. Between he and Chris, there'd be some interaction in terms of data needs, whatever. World Business Chicago is our research partner through GSEP and the regional. They're Johnny on the spot on getting us data that helps support that whole process. And it really is a lot of fun to watch this guy work and see these things begin to come together. So he's probably too modest to point that out, but we're keeping him, he's very busy in that realm also.
Keeps them out of trouble down in Will County.
Sorry. Was bound to happen sooner or later.
It's good, it's good.
Trust me, I haven't been in Will County in quite a while. so.
Okay, here's the real key. What's your favorite restaurant so far in Kane County? This is how I know if you've really been doing your job.
Well, one I've probably been to more than any other place is the Windmill Grill in Batavia.
Okay, there you go.
And
It's good, kind of right in the center of it all.
great location. It's a easy place to hold a little meeting and meet with people. I was at a really good restaurant in Aurora, but well, you were there.
Oh, yeah,
What was that? That was a good restaurant.
yeah,
Anita's house?
no, yeah. If you bring your own peanut butter sandwich, it'd be great. Giordano's, is that,
It's,
yeah,
I think you're saying, right? The new one.
it was great.
Yeah, right next to the Cajun restaurant.
Yep.
Right.
Which is right next to.
There's
the Latin
there's some good
restaurant.
eating in this county.
Is-
Oh, yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else?
I'm good.
Okay, so, all right, good job. The Office of Community Reinvestment does not have a report. I'm hoping next month we will have one. I think Madam Chair mentioned the other day that we have we've gone a long way in getting back in compliance with the state. In fact, in some cases, we're above where they were demanding us to be. So we're quite pleased. There's a lot of work to do over there yet. There's a lot of staff issues yet. But I think we're starting to turn a corner on it all. And then, of course, the other side of that, the side that Mark has taken over, is also good because separating them out, I think that was a big, good move for us. So we can concentrate on the problem area, the workforce development, and you get the other problem area because you don't have a staff anymore, but but yeah, so I think we're pleased. I think we have turned the corner and I think we've learned a lot. We've learned a whole lot about communicating and we've developed some really good relationships with Kendall County and DeKalb that hadn't existed before. So I'm very happy with the work that's going on there. I do have some new business. Yes, I do. So the other day, Madam Chair mentioned her desire to have county internships and pass that on to the Human Services Committee and the Jobs Committee. And so what we're going to do with that is there is actually a policy on internships that is outdated, of course, so we're going to end up rewriting a new policy. And I've talked to Jamie and Cliff about let's first of all find out what we do have in the county, because we have internships which must be paid by county ordinance, and then we have volunteers that aren't paid but could be paid by we have an intern right now that's paid by one of the colleges, but they're doing their internship here. So there's those kind of programs. So there's a mixed model of things going on. And then in the judicial, the electeds, they actually have some internship programs that we may or may not know about. So we're going to try to get some information at this, and then they're going to put out a survey to our departments to ask them, do you want an internship program? And then if people want an internship program, we do have to pay for that.
Mhm.
So the funding is another issue. Madam Chair had suggested that we put in the 1% grocery tax to pay for that. And that is not that was just a suggestion. It's not really what's, so don't hold that against the idea of having an internship. Ms. Allen,
I'd like to suggest,
Microphone, please.
Alan here, I'd like to suggest that maybe a better source is to use our riverboat money.
Pardon
we-
me? Use our what?
Riverboat money.
Oh,
The 3Es are supposed to be the guiding force for that fund. And we currently do have a tuition reimbursement program for our employees to encourage education. It's certainly not a free ride. There are lots of admonishments that come with it that you have to qualify for. But if we wanted to put an intern program together, that might be a good source for the money.
Mhm.
It's not taxpayer money, and it is for the improvement, it's for the common good.
Yeah.
Just a toss that out there.
yeah, thank you for mentioning that. Ms. Strathman?
I'm excited about this prospect and where it's going to go. I think it's a wonderful thing for us to do,
I
to
agree.
develop. I'm really excited. I had somebody contact me recently about somebody who wanted to shadow or volunteer now.
Mhm.
So it would not be money involved with
Right.
it. Who would I send that person to?
I would send them to Jamie Liberlo because we actually do have a volunteer process and procedure.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, great. Thank you very much.
And also you might want to, like, if it's a person that wants to shadow the corner, you might want to send
Right,
that
get
email
some
to
more
Jamie
information.
and
Mhm.
the corner,
Okay, great. Thank you.
We did have one student that wanted to shadow a corner. It's not unusual. Well, it might be unusual, but it did happen. Ms. Bates?
Madam Chair, so the code says that we need to pay interns, correct?
Correct.
We do not have to pay volunteers.
That's also correct.
At this point in time, I think we should stick to the volunteer program until we work out other issues.
Yeah, well, we're not going to implement anything next week. We've got to look, like I said, we've got to look at our policy and procedure we have in place right now. And we've got to, this is the county. We are
Mhm.
not going to rush into anything that starts
Okay.
next week.
And I totally support with my whole heart paying interns. And we're up a creek without a paddle right now. So, but I did visit West High. I went to visit their communications lady, I guess. And I mentioned to her the idea of internships for King County, and she lit up
Mhm.
at that. Anna Gonzalez.
Yeah, yeah.
So the excitement is there for the program.
Yeah, yeah.
Just-
Okay.
Thank you.
So this will probably be an item on our agenda probably next month. We'll talk about it more and probably at Human Services also.
Madam Chair, Ted Penesis.
Yes?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Ted.
yeah, I had someone from ECC call about the internship program too. And I'm wondering if there's a way we could work with the community college for summer internships too. And I mean, maybe they wouldn't even get to be paid, but I'm thinking they probably would like, minimum wage or something like that, since these are college kids. So I know there's interest at ECC for an summer internship program for their students. I'm thinking Wabansie probably would feel the same way.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna also see what is being paid to different groups right now. But I think minimum wage is probably where we're looking, unless we get somebody like that is I would say a junior in college and they're, they can do you know, that they have a special set of skills already that would warrant them getting a higher, you know, higher pay. But like I said, a lot of things to look at and a lot of things that we gotta talk about because it's the first conversations this week.
Yeah.
Ms. Strathman?
Yes, thank you. One of the things we need to consider as we're talking about all this, gathering all the information, is that we do need to have a paid internship program because otherwise it limits who can come and be involved.
Otherwise, they're at McDonald's.
Well, not only are they at McDonald's, but they need to be employed so that, you know, this might be something that they're interested in, but they've got to work for other reasons. And so we really need to consider that we have to have some kind of a paid internship program. So
Yeah,
Just my
I think
input.
it's an excellent idea because we have a lot of really like cool jobs, for lack of anything better here.
and we
That,
want
and
to,
people don't think about,
exactly, we want to get
public
the
service.
interest and we want to encourage and we want to build a bench and, you know, so I think it's an excellent idea.
yeah, I think it is too.
The sustainability department has interns every year. I don't know how we do it, but Jody knows how.
Yeah.
So Ms. Wolnick knows
One
how.
of the ones that if, that we'll see how they get paid or what, so.
Mhm.
'cause
And
we
I'm
just-
wondering if we're using the, you know, the workforce development program for the, you know, the college students or even the high school students. Is there a possibility that we could get some of that funding through DCEO?
Yeah, I don't know, because I asked that question also. And I just don't know. Like I said, this, at Tuesday's board meeting, when this was brought up, Cliff and I had not had any, you know, conversations on it and anything initially, so, but because these are the two committees that are gonna be tasked with putting it together, I just wanted to throw it out there today so you guys were aware that it is gonna become one of our agenda items, because it is important. And it's certainly important to the jobs and economic development of our county.
And fun.
Pardon?
And fun.
Yes,
It's fun.
absolutely. Young people keep us
I
thinking
know.
for sure, for
Remember
sure.
that word?
They're
F-U-N.
the future.
Fun. Okay, anything else?
I just have a small comment. I
Mhm.
want to thank Chris Toth for the help he's giving to the Climate Action Plan, where he's working with us on the economic and other business issues. So, yay, Chris.
Also, since Chris isn't here, let's, you know, say nice things about him. Um, We didn't get to talk about last month's, economic development luncheon, the roundtable here, which Chris put a lot of time and effort into that. I think it was personally the best one we've had yet. John did a presentation on, the Kane County Economic Development Initiative that I think was very well, received by everybody that was there, which was mostly our economic development people from all the other counties. And I think they had good questions. I think there was a level of excitement from those municipalities about getting on board and doing this. So, thank you for taking the time to do that for us. And then just the hearing what was going on in the rest of the county from the economic development people. I always find that fascinating. And I always think like, man, I gotta go up to Algonquin, I gotta go to Carpentersville, I gotta go here and there. So it's always a really, really good thing. So kudos to your department for that. And to you, John.
If I,
And the
could-
flowers were amazing.
oh, Alan speaking, I think once again, every seat was filled. And, and
closer.
everyone stayed. So it was just, a compelling, a nice lunch and a compelling program.
Yes. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, we could turn that into an all-day thing and probably still not cover everything that could get covered.
And still not have room in the room.
That's correct. That's correct.
Have room in the room.
Yeah, we have to hold someplace else. The other real quick thing is, Ms. Bates and Ms. Strathman and myself and, Madam Chair attended the Illinois Economic Development Association Conference in Peoria. It seems like a long time ago, but it was really only a few weeks ago. And a lot of economic development people from all over the state, from downstate, upstate, you know, all over. And a lot of the people from the DCEO, the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. And we met a lot of our local people. So that the networking was just great. And the conferences and the things they talked about as far as, you know, economic development and thinking forward and not chasing what's happened in the past, but looking at what jobs are coming forward, what's, you know, what's going to be important to us all, and also like even how things are, you know, what's important to the people, you know, because we in Illinois, we know we pay high taxes, but what's really important? What do we want? You know, what do we want our economy to look like? What do we want our neighborhoods to look like? What kind of industries do we want here? All those things. So I found it, and we did a lot on energy too, right? And environment. So I found it fascinating. It was 2 days and Mr. Pennisus was there also.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, I second that. And, you know, the interaction with the people who are working with our workforce development program, especially with DCO, was very worthwhile.
Mhm.
Yeah, just making the connections with the people there, you know, at the state level, just from that perspective, the presentations I thought were fantastic. But just that, you know, meeting with the people who are making the decision making, you know, leading the decision making process was actually, I thought, the most worthwhile thing.
Mhm. I agree. And to John's point, King County right now, there is a lot of buzz and people are really like looking to King County to see how we are going to do our economic development. And also what people love about King County right now is the fact that we understand that we're kind of like a gem here because we have manufacturing, we have services, we have amazing tourism with the Fox River, our forest preserve and that whole structure that we have in place. People are a little jealous of King County. So
And our ag.
yes.
Ag.
And the whole
Yeah.
fact that half of our thing is ag and that it's so important to us. The downstate areas were like jealous because they think that they are the farmers, but they didn't realize we are. So they were very jealous. So anyway, do you, either of you have anything you want to say?
Oh, I think the energy at that is always, it's palpable and people are so enthusiastic. It's really, I love going because I just learn so much about what I don't know anything about. And
Mhm.
it's very, very worthwhile. I really like it.
It was very broad. They
Yeah.
covered many topics.
Yes, yes, they did.
Some of the presentations I wished were longer because it was such good information, but
Mhm.
I mean, it was very, very
Yeah.
worthwhile.
Good.
Mhm.
Okay. If nobody has anything else, we need a motion to put the reports on file.
Madam Chair, do
Get to you.
you want to call on me?
Yes.
Okay. I would ask that we can put our reports on file.
Okay.
Unanimous consent.
Unanimous consent.
Wonderful. I
Excellent.
already did my comments. We do need to go into executive session for the release of the closed session minutes. And
Bates would move that we go into closed session for to work on our closed session minutes.
and there'll be action after that, but you guys can go and enjoy your lunch and your weekend.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
We need a second on that motion.
Yes.
Alan
I'll second
Alan
that.
seconds.
Genesis.
think you could take a voice vote.
No,
Supposed to go out, but you do the roll call to go in. I thought. Roll call to go in, voice vote to come out. I know, that is.
Lock, will you, thank you. Lock us up.
Bates, Bates,
Bates, yes.
Pennisus,
Genesis, yes.
Strathman,
yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Allen,
Alan, I.
Lewis.
Louis, yes.
When I'd be seeing if I get clean.
Online, please.
There's always the window in the bathroom.
Walk them around.
All right, everybody online, please accept the invite to go into closed session. If you've joined us while sitting in the room, you must also join us before we can begin.
Yeah, no, I don't need it. I'll collect them though for you. They still give them to me.
It'll be exciting.
It's the important ones.
Yeah. Hope I didn't get a request.
All right, you're in open session.
Sorry.
Bates,
There,
Penisys,
It's from June.
Strathman,
Yes.
Roth,
Present here, all of the above.
Roth here.
Allen,
Alan present.
All the
Lewis.
above.
There.
Yeah, I get
All right.
confused. Yeah.
so we move that we release our closed session minutes according to Appendix A as presented.
Okay, Strathman second.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Bates,
Yes.
Penisys,
Genesis, yes.
Strathman,
Yes.
Roth,
Yes.
Allen,
Alan, I.
Lewis.
Lewis, yes. All right, that is done. I finally need a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair, I move to adjourn.
8 seconds.
8 seconds. All in favor? Absolutely. Have a wonderful weekend. Okay.
you.
Sure.
Bye, everyone.